All right, all right. Think we made it. We slid into home base. Well, praise God. All right, gentlemen. All right, so good to see you. I am excited today because we're doing something unusual, but we're going to see how it goes. We always need to have something that we could test on. That's for sure. Now, those of you that was with us last week, you know that we are live now, and but last week we had several issues, and I think that it was very, very important the things that we were saying, and it's always important when somebody says anything. But with this particular video, we had a chance to capture some things. So on tonight. Those of you, I don't know, like many times people would get videos and they would react to the video, maybe give pointers, maybe get some teaching off of those videos. But tonight we're doing something. I haven't seen anyone doing this. Now, I'm not saying that no one else does this, but it was something that was on my mind. And so what we'll do tonight is I made some clips from last week. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play those quick clips, and then some of those clips, we was answering some questions, right? So what you'll see, what we'll start out tonight in is I am going to play those clips, and then we're going to react or add to or enhance the questions that we had already had, because we was coming in and was going out and all of that. And so those of you that had experienced last week, you seen live in action. So hopefully that and prayerfully that we will get through this on tonight, and it's something different. So we may have maybe a kind of hiccup a here or two, but we know that it will be good enough to keep up. So I took down that from last week, and I was going to put a portion up of that. And then I said, you know what, we could maybe start a trend here or start something new, is those that are teaching, or those, because sometimes you don't have an opportunity to go back or have an opportunity sometimes to even listen to it, right? To go back and try to see. So since this particular year, we'll be doing two of every, say, particular topic, and maybe more, but two for sure, right? And this will be our second time going at it. So, we're going to go at it one more time. So we'll definitely be talking about, see what we can do today that will, produce some things and bring in that harvest. And that's what we was going on, and that's what we was had been talking about. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into this first clip, and just hang in there with us. And what we'll do is somewhere along the line, I'm practicing trying to pause it, and then us trying to react to that. So I think this will definitely, enhance this particular. And if you hadn't seen what we would call part one, go ahead and listen to that, and then you'll see how it flows. So we do apologize. Of course, it was out of our hands on last week. But the brethren are here, and I'm so grateful for that. So we're going to be listening again to respond, and what we respond to, and it's something different, and we could see it right away. Most times we don't get a chance, at least I don't get a chance to listen to it over once I put it up. If everything goes in the manner that it should, right? All right, my brother, we're going to go ahead and let me see if I can get this first one set. And we're going to get that set, and then we're going to go forth in this. So we'll see what I'm building in my life. I was thinking about that. What is it that I'm building in my life? Because I know that if I'm working on me, then others will benefit from the fact that where I am in my life, if I can be in a place of shalom in my life, then I can share that with others. So wherever it is that I am at, I will share that with somebody else, according to what what time of the day, if we'll use that, what time of the day that they will see me or whatever. If they say in the morning, if you see me, maybe I wasn't feeling as well. Maybe I had a headache. Maybe, I was sharp and quick with people. But the way that I am feeling is the way that I am going to, put out with others, put those seeds if we use that. And that's sort of the thing that we've been trying to use, right? And, it's not all the time, but anyone that run into me at that time of not feeling well, having a headache, or it's just just the things of the day and all of that, then they're going to reap from that. Sometimes I can go off into a store and not feeling as well. Maybe, like I say again, to reiterate, have a headache, just all these things on my mind. And then I may not treat, say, the cashier right. Somebody standing in line. Now I'm trying to figure out why it's taking so long, and I got all these expressions on my face, and then I get ready to go out the door. Somebody's coming in the door. I'm going out the door, and now I'm just I'm just in the uproar, and I storm out and bump my shoulder into them, and now they doing different things now. Right at those times, I am not putting out good seeds. And so what is it that, will come back to me because I'm producing something there. So it is very, very vital and important that no matter what situation I am in, I have to realize that I'm always continually putting seeds out, and this is just a metaphor that we use. And I'm always putting the seeds out. So even when I'm not feeling well, when I'm not at my best, and sometimes when I'm at my best, then that's what I will pull out, in that. So in the same situation, when I'm feeling my best and all of that, you patient. And when I say feel, not so much of, in your, like your body or something like that, your mind is clear. There's no headache. You at a point where you're at least feeling pretty good. That same scenario could be a whole different. My seeds will be different. That would be totally different. The cashier could be taking too long, and if I'm feeling well and I'm putting out those seeds of joy and understanding, right? She's going to receive of that. It could turn around her whole day. Somebody coming into the door and I'm coming into the door instead of me bumping in shoulders with them. One of the things is I tell them, come on in. I got this. They say, well, thank you, sir. I said, okay, no problem. And so that makes the whole situation different, in that. So, and when we put it as seeds and putting out seeds, and when we're doing that, then we'll realize that I have to be sharp all the time. As something have to be. And so sometimes even when I'm not, say, physically, mentally feeling the best, I still have to be able to produce and to put out the seeds, right, that will bring in a harvest. So we're talking about positive harvest here, right? The positive harvest. So what is it that you're building in my life? So what I'm building in my life is that's what I'm trying to build. One of the things is I want for people to be better in when they leave, when they in my presence, and then when they leave, in that, when all is possible. And that's part of the things that I want to build on. And I can only build that on in the things of the Father. So that's one of the things that I want to build in my life, is that I can be a person that really, and it's difficult, right? It's difficult that no matter how I'm feeling or whatever, that when I put out the seeds, then it could be still produce a little bit of something, And one of those things is we can always let someone else know, if you say, oh, well, I see you got a frown or something on your face, and you say, oh man, I got a headache. Okay, well, people understand what it is then, right? They understand that. And, and then you can kind of adjust to that. So I want to be, I guess in my life, I want to be the same when I'm not feeling my best as I am when I am, if we would say, feeling your best. You know what I'm saying? When everything's is at ease and there's no problems. And when I say problems, nothing on your mind or nothing that you're dealing with. So I'm trying to build that in my life, and I know I can't do it outside of the things of the Father or the Word. So that's what I want to do. So, gentlemen, I want to. What somebody had left. I guess he'll be back, right? So, Jedediah, what is it that's something that you trying to build in your life? I just kind of gave an example. That's what I want to build in my life. I want to be consistent, Jedediah. I want to be consistent in what I'm doing, and I'm trying to build that because I know that if I do that, and that's not the only thing. There's so much I need to work on, but if I can work on that to be just consistent, and that one stable, then I can realize that that's where I'm at, right? That's where I want to be. I want to be stable in the way that I'm going in my life. So that's something that I'm trying to build, and I think that will help me to produce the seeds that I need, right? The seeds that I need. All right, my brother. Does that kind of help you out there on that question?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir. Shalom and all praise to the Father. Um,
Hallelujah.
Elder, I mean, you took the word out of my mouth, consistency. Like that, that's important, you know. And and in my life, there's three phases. You know, I got my family, I got my community, and then I got work. You know, am I consistent in all three? You know, it's the same seeds that I am planting at work in the community. Am I planting those same things at home, and vice versa? You know, so it's just been making sure I'm being consistent across the board, especially when at work, because you're amongst other people. You're amongst people who are not in the covenant.
Right.
So and they're watching. You know, um, and some may know, okay, that brother's a Hebrew. Some may not know, but it doesn't matter who knows or who don't know. It's as long as you being consistent with the things you do, you know, and they looking at me and they see something different from everyone else. And that's the seed that I want to plant. You know, you have someone that's at work, you know, they complain about every little thing. They looking at me like, he don't really complain. Like he's going through the same thing you going through, but he's not complaining. You know,
Right.
um, and then you have certain situations where reliability, you know, and it's like, okay, you have 4 or 5 people on this team, but I'm gonna go to that brother. I'm gonna go to him right there because I know that he's reliable. And so those are the seeds that I try to plant, especially, you know, outside my home, outside the community, and just know that I'm a representation of the Father. I'm a representation of the Messiah, you know, of my community, you know, that I fellowship with. And so the same things that I get in my community, same things that I get in my home, I want those things to go forth into other people.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And I think that. All right. All right. Okay. That was the first clip we went through, and as we began that, so Jedediah, did you anything that you wanted to add to that? In that. So I know, like I say, I had to cut it. I think that's just where on the other side. The next one I think is where I froze up. I went to sleep. One of the two. So anything you'd like to add to that, my brother?
Shalom, all praise to the Father.
Shalom.
Um, it'd be kind of hard to add to that. I mean, I thank the Father for the things He gave me at that time to say. Um, I guess it's just work. I would like to continue to add to work and encourage those who are, you know, on the job and just dealing with people that are outside the covenant, and just we have to understand that they don't understand. Um, but at the same time, when we are dealing with them, to make sure that we are planting a righteous seed with the people um, that that we come in contact with on a daily basis. You know, especially with our conversation. I think it could start with our conversations that we have, because you know they will have some conversations. You'd be like, I don't want to be part of that. You know, I don't want to. I'm not going to speak on that. You know, I had a situation recently when someone was saying something about somebody else, and I'm just like, hey, that's none of my business. You know, I
Yeah.
keep that to myself, and because other people was there watching, and they looking like, yeah, he's not with the gossip, So that's just something that I can add to it. It's just us making sure that everything that we are learning from our shepherd and the things that we learning from our word that we read on a daily basis, that we're taking those things and we integrating it into our life,
Yeah.
and taking it to outside, and into the workplace or anyone we come in contact with. Like when you talked about the grocery store, those seeds are being planted. You dealing with someone for 12 seconds, 15
Mm-hmm.
seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the amount of seed, of righteous seed that you can plant in someone. So it's just always, like you said, consistency and just remaining humble at all times. Even when it's times where we feeling frustrated. Because it's easy to get frustrated about something. Man, this person got like 100 items in their bag. Let's not get frustrated, because you never know what can happen in that time that we spending in line at the grocery store. And I think that every opportunity that we have in this world, that we are living and breathing and walking on this ground, that is every opportunity to plant a righteous seed.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I was given that, it's never we get over that. I was given the example as well, and even though we conquer different areas, we always have to be alert though when you, like you were saying, when you go to the line, when you're doing different things like that. Had a gentleman one time tell me, uh, okay, the cashier had 15 items or less. I'm gonna just use this, right? Then I had a quite more than just 15 items. So he called us over, and when he did that, I said, "Well, I have more. I got more than 50." He said, "Oh, no, that's okay. Come on." So he just was coming on like on duty. He was getting his drawer and everything, and another man came up, and he didn't realize that the guy just told me to come. I had, I don't know, about 25 items, we'll say. And he didn't realize that, oh man, he just was up in the uproar. And I had to tell him, in the sense of, listen, he told me to come here. It's not that I had a basket full of stuff and decided to get into 15 or less, right? I mean, that's not my mindset. Some people do that. But what I'm saying is you always have to be ready, because I could feel it rising up in me. Is it what are you talking about? You just need to. In my mind, I say you need to mind your business, right? But like you saying is, I have an opportunity now to plant this seed, and maybe the harvest will be the next time that he gets behind somebody and they have more items. It might be for a reason, right? Those things might be there. So yes, sir. I just wanted to, remember that even though things in our lives and we mature, but we always have to be alert. So our scriptures tell us to be on guard, right? Okay, we're gonna go right into the next clip, and we'll see how we going to. Let me see how we'll do this. Maybe I'll just
On
go
my mind
solo
about
on
what
that
you were
one.
saying, at least what I hope I'm putting out, if it's glorifying to the Most High, hopefully service. Like that's something
Hmm.
I really try to express, is just being available to give people, my whole heart when it comes down to serving them and exposing them to myself. Just trying to be authentic and not a phony individual. Honest. Excuse me. And just putting things out there, hopefully friendly. So that's really like what I hope is really being produced. you know
Right, right. Can you hear me?
oh, you froze up on me.
Yeah, I think I froze up.
I thought you were having a deep thought.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Okay. Well, let me do this to mine, and then because I won't be able to cut it off, but you can still hear me though. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Y'all can hear me? Okay. All right. Now, one of the things that I was just before you came back in, and I don't know, I tried to I answer you ask you guys a question, and then I'll try to get back myself. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to reiterate is the fact that Jedediah, just before you came in, I was getting ready to break that down into the something that I'm trying to even build in my life is say the work, the assembly or the community, and then your family, right? So we'll conclude the community as our assembly, right? I want to be consistent in all of that, right? So if you ask somebody at work about me, then I wanted to be consistent with what my wife and family would say about me. I wanted to be consistent with what the community or the assembly say about me as well, right? So I wanted to be consistent, you know. I wanted to be where they understand that you're talking about the same person, right? And so I don't want to be one way, right, at the assembly, and then I want to be another way at work, and then another way with my family, right? So I want to be able, they can be able to see the same person, right? That I'm giving those same seeds out because I want my harvest to be effective. So I want to be able to produce in each area, but I want to be consistent in that. Now that takes a little effort because, you know, if I throw in how my, you know, say how I'm feeling or what my day was, then I have to be able to make sure that I'm consistent all the way out. You know, sometimes if I years ago if I had a you know a hard time at the job, then sometimes that can run over when I get home, right? And so that you know then the tension is in the room, right? When I get home because it's running over, right? So all of that tension could be in the room. So now I'm not, you know, I wasn't being consistent. Then they would say, "Well, you had a bad day. Did you have a bad day?" Right? And I say, "Oh, well, yeah, yeah." So I'm not being consistent in what I'm doing and all of that, right? So I wanted to be able to be consistent and be able to handle that and realize that being in covenant with the Most High, that no matter where I'm at, that I should be producing, right? I should have those seeds that I'm planting. They should be the same seeds, you know, in that. So whatever seeds I'm producing, they should be the same seeds, and that's what I want to make sure to be productive, because my harvest or our harvest can be great when we being consistent in that, right? On that. So that's what I want to do. Does helping others, what other area it is, and I'm asking you guys a question now. Helping others, does that help you when you help others to grow, right? When you contributing to others, does that help you personally to grow, right? And then if it does, then what kind of fulfillment that gives you? You know, how can that help you to grow, right? When you help others, because I know that sometimes I use the word stagnated. You can be stagnated when you're not using your gift. We go back to the gift. We're talking about seeds and all of that. When you go back to the gift, with your gift, because everybody needs to partake of your gift, but we always have to be consistent and ready to give that gift, right? We have to be consistent because we'll never know when somebody needs it, right? So we have to, you know, it's like always be ready. In that sense, or practice to be ready. But the question is, though, when you're thinking about that, is how does that help you to grow? And give us some examples that you know you did such and such and such, and then how did that help you to grow, right, in your walk, as whether with your family or maybe it kind of bind things together. All right, could you probably help us out on that one, my brother? I tell you what, if either one of you guys want to jump right in there, and I'm a fool with this camera as you guys are answering that. Okay.
Yes, sir. You got
Yes. I'll go ahead. Um, that one that's big for me. I would say that because I love helping people. When you find yourself in certain situations when you're helping someone, um, let's just use an example of moving. You know, someone needs help moving. You know, and you're helping them to transition from one home to another. And I would say help moving is not something that a lot of people like to do, you know, especially depending on how much stuff you have in your home. So volunteering your time and your effort, your energy to help others to move, I think that you at times can create a bond with that person. I found myself in those type of situations where I was helping someone move, didn't even really know them, and here I am having a conversation with them, you know, and then I can find myself having a conversation with them about the word, not something that's being forced, but just waiting until the door opens. And I, I say that that is a good example that I have, whereas in I help someone move into their home, and then I come back to their home months later and seeing it's all decked out and looking nice, and it's just like that. That is a fulfillment because I helped that person get there to that place where they are. So that's one example that I have, and there's many other examples. I say me working with elementary school um, children, I find myself in those situations where I'm helping them as well. Not just the learning aspect, not them coming into the classroom and learning, but they may have certain things and certain needs that they may need help with. And I just love when they come to me and just ask for help, no matter what it is. It could just be tying your shoe, you know, and just helping them understand how to tie their shoe, even though that's not part of my curriculum. That's not part of my lesson plan, but, you know, just helping them to understand certain things. And I find a big fulfillment in helping children. And I love doing so. I love doing it with my family, and I love doing it with the community as well. When I say the community, I mean the assembly. You know, anyone that needs help, you know, you need a ride to a doctor's appointment, no matter what it is, and you putting yourself next to that person in that car for a certain amount of time. And I've had good conversations come out and just getting to understand the person and where they are, you know. So that's my fulfillment is those things and the examples that I gave.
That's real good, Aki. You made me think about a lot of different things with that example. So that was definitely helpful for me because you helped me think of a lot of different things. So I get to go shotgun today. So no, but that was awesome. And I'd say for me, what about helping helps me to grow, and also especially how it's fulfilling. Very similarly to my brother, it's going to be in service and works, like going to anybody who or being relied on by someone. And I think that what helps me with that is it changes the way I would view expectations even for myself. Because if I ended up doing something for someone and they're like, wow, you did an excellent job, and I did give it all that I had, it now shows me, oh snap, I can excel in this, or I can do this. And that's what really, I think, really helps. If I were to say, if I planted something and then I ate of the fruit of it, that's one of the things that really helps me in that. And like my brother was saying, I like to be there in the beginning of stuff. I like to, be first on the scene. I was a security guard for a while, and I was, first on scene a lot. And I like to get the story. I want to help bring the resolution. I want to de-escalate the situation. And also I want everybody, if possible, we all could walk away with shalom. So, and then I get shalom out of that because I got to be an integral piece in helping de-escalate or bring peace. And I can say that's even something probably not the best at for sure, but it is something that's really in my heart. And my wife used to always say that all the time about me. Used to say, but about trying to be a peacemaker in things. And I get a big I like resolution when people can come to an answer about ideas, an answer about their mind. So that's one thing, like what Maury was saying in the beginning about having peace. I like to come from the place of my peace, and hopefully that peace exudes out of me and it brings peace to where we're at. And I feel like it helps me grow because sometimes if I'm not bringing peace, I can see that now, oh snap, I'm on the wrong side of the tracks and I'm bringing strife, and I don't want to be a person bringing strife. So I learned from that, and I can hopefully grow and bring peace later. And I say really what it is with the skills and what helps with exposing those things. Like Jedediah was saying with teaching, for me, it's like building things, fixing things, or putting things together. There's a lot of stuff, that everybody, you might buy the new bookshelf and you may not want to put it together, or you can call me and I'll put it together for you. And then like what Jedediah was saying, when we come over and we see this, once empty bookshelf full of books, that brings a lot of joy. And I think even with my sister, she built a garden, and I got to help her set up, and actually Jedediah, his son, and we all got to help build all the walls around that. And now even today, she even improved on what we helped her start. So I totally agree with you in that area. I like, in that sense, the skills or the talents of being a laborer for the community and for the family and for anybody really.
All right, my brother. I think that we will still record, but I think that on YouTube, I think they buffering, right? And I just had a sign that come up, but we gonna keep going. Okay, so it might be in two parts, but we gonna keep going. This is good, right? This is good no matter what. All right, my brothers. Did y'all have anything that y'all want to add to that? In that fulfillment. You can go first since you was the last one. It might be on your mind if you want to, there, brother. See it?
Shalom, much love, and all praises to the Most High. Honestly, to add to what I said in that place, we could go. That really is, I guess, like the paramount thing I could say. I believe the service is it brings a lot of joy to me to be able to serve people, and that's in whatever capacity I'm able to interact with them. So that's, I don't really think I could add to it. The I do know Jedediah was trying to express some more about the garden, um, but there really isn't much I could say other than like what Jedediah was saying. I do value as well as far as giving of your time and spend a lot of time with people in a sad place or a more serious place. So I say that I get something out of that, just to be there with that person in a place of vulnerability, or to help someone in a place to where, how can I say, everybody has like a rare moment, where they might be outside of character, or they may be, like I said earlier, vulnerable. The Father's allowed me a lot to be there for people in those moments of need, and I say that that's something that I get a lot of joy out of being relied on, and especially when it matters a lot, to the person there that you get to serve, just being allowed to serve them in whatever way they let you. But that's really it. Just those interactions with others are very valuable. And oh wait, one other thing actually. Um, Realizing, like what you were saying in your previous example, it's kind of like we're being watched. So just being aware, like what Jedediah was saying at work, and those things, just knowing that as messengers for Yah's, kingdom and bringers of his good news, our reputation, behind us should be a good thing. There shouldn't be very many opportunities for people to say anything bad. But that's really what was on my mind.
Awesome, awesome, my brother. Yeah, that's good stuff. Did you have anything, my brother?
Don't have much, Elder.
Okay.
Um, But when we talk about help, we can just go and down so many avenues.
Oh yeah.
And what's always on my mind is work lately because I've been working a lot. So um, an example that I have lately is just me being at work. We have our radios that we hear, and they be like, "Hey, I need someone to do this. I need someone to do that," and I'll be there to go do it. Although that's not where I'm supposed to be. This is my job over here, but I'm willing to help. And just seeing the joy that comes from people like, "Man, thank you for coming here," because they know, like, yeah, you belong over there, but you came all the way over here to help me. Yeah, well, I heard you needed help, so I'm gonna come over here to help you. You know, and those are just the seeds that we plant, like that on a regular basis at work or anywhere else. It can be in the assembly as well. It could be at home. It could be in with family members. Um, I think that's where a lot of growing up. That's where a lot of the help from me has went to is family members when they needed things. Um, and I praise the Father for that because that allowed me to continue to build relationships with family members and my wife as well. She just has that helping heart. You know, Someone needs help, she's jumping on it, real quick. And I'm all like, hold on, let's assess the situation now.
Mhm.
Because in certain people we need to have discernment with.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yes, it's. I mean, a lot of the things I said in that video, and then the things I just said now is really all I have when it comes to helping others and handing out that hand to others. Definitely plant seeds.
Okay, all right. Good, good. I think the next ones we have is a little shorter, but we'll jump right in there. I think it's talking about growth and fulfillment. Let's see what we got here. See if we
Appreciate
can
it.
jump right in there. Okay.
All right, cool. I was trying to figure that out, man. Well, praise y'all. So what I was trying to say about what gives me fulfillment about that, it's just I don't know how to express it. A teacher told me one time about what brought them most joy is they called it the light bulb moment. And it's like when you're doing something for somebody and it's in that split second where it's received and it's good. And it's a place like that I think really gives me the most fulfillment is when you're helping somebody and they understood you're there to help them. I like first aid. I'm not the best out of it, but I really do. If somebody's bleeding, they got a cut, scrape, ouchie, whatever. I want to be the one to come and bring some relief in that area. Any way I can. They may not like it because I'm gonna clean the wound, but I am gonna bandage it up. And I say that what gives me the most fulfillment is out of somebody bleeding, they get their blood on me and all that stuff, that they realize that I was there to help them. And then afterwards, some people might express gratitude for that. But the best part for me was being able to help them, and they received what I did in the intention of good which I gave it.
All right, my brother. Okay. Did you have some more that you want to add to that?
All right. Like you said, this is a brand new thing right here. It's like
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I was just talking. Um, I think that's actually kind of similar to what I just said, but I do believe in serving in that area. Um, and I think where the gratitude comes from is I've been exposed to a lot of different peoples and different walks of life and different stations of life, low, very high, as they say, from the slums to the penthouse. And what I've realized in that is that everybody needs help. There isn't anyone who doesn't need help. you know, whether you notice it or not, you're relying on others. And the gratitude, I think, just comes from acknowledging it, similar to what I just said. I believe there was an instance where the master Yeshua healed like 10 lepers, and out of all 10 of them, only one of them was even able to acknowledge the good thing to which he had done, and say thanks, as they say. And I believe that type of environment of doing good for others, no thanks or whatever, that's what really brings a lot of fulfillment for me, because I can count that as some sort of treasure to the kingdom and towards the things of the Father. And I believe in that. I believe in storing up good in other people's lives, to where they can say, um, similarly to what we were just saying, I helped them, or I was there in a place that no one expected help. And that's something that's really, I mean, that's my everyday life. I fix printers, like that's my job. But in order for me to fix your printer, I'm also have to get on your computer. And then, by the way, you're going to ask me to do this. And, one thing leads to another. And then when it's all said and done, it's what's your name? Or you were just so helpful or whatever, similarly to what Jedediah was saying. It's like, this isn't my job, but yet I was still able to help you. And I know that just comes through everybody's different levels of skills, but it can be done on a simple level too. Like picking up trash somewhere where you don't work. Somebody who sees you doing that, they're going to appreciate that. But it's all things, normal. And I believe you can feel good by doing good for others. And that's really how simple it is for me. I think it was treat others the way you desire to be treated, in my own words. But that I believe brings a lot of gratitude, especially when you give people that which you desire to receive but haven't yet received. And I think that is always a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, good, my brother. We're gonna get another clip here. It should be a shorter one too. The next two, we got just two left here, I think, and we'll see what's going on. All right.
Awesome. But what was really, I guess, what stood out to me is actually something that was going on during the week so far. Um, and it makes me think of that whole fruit of the spirit aspect, So, the patience, peace, kindness, all that good stuff. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about imparting something to someone else. Is that if I show up with impatience, that's what I'm gonna, like Maury was saying in the beginning, that's what I'm gonna give others. But if somebody's given me impatience, and then I in turn give them patience, I will be able to impart onto them, patience, and then with that patience, kindness, and then with it, love, and then with it, the joy, and all those good things. And like for me, it's like that's where um I hope it would go. So when I'm thinking about looking at things in a spiritual aspect, sometimes people are in a spot you don't want to join them in, but it's easy for them to pull you in. Someone's complaining, I could jump right on the complaint train with them. Next thing you know, we're 10 toes down, expressing how much we can't stand everything, and yet all of the good things are far from our minds, and they're far from the things that they should be just reproducing all over us. And next thing you know, it's like, what's the difference between me and an unbeliever? There's what is my speech? What is my thought? If somebody were to catch just those two words I'm saying about how I can't stand, that may draw them in. I think one person talks about, like you'll draw in what you produce or something like that. So when I'm thinking about it in that sense, that's hopefully where I'm looking at it in a spiritual aspect, is that if someone is broken, hopefully I can bring completeness. If someone's in a place of depression, hopefully, I can bring them compassion, and I can bring them mercy and understanding, so that their downtrodden place isn't their new home. If the idea is, if you're in a pit, I want to be the hand that brings you up out of it. So that's the way I'm looking at it, in the sense of where hopefully as I can impart those good things to others. Oh no, Maurice's phone just hung up. Brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you was done or not.
Yeah, that's good, man. I believe I expressed my heart in that.
Okay, I'm gonna try to answer this the best I can. But the one thing I do love about this verse is at the end where it says, "For you to be established," and you being established through these spiritual gifts that you are getting through others. So now you have, let's just say you have this one spiritual gift, and now you're coming across others, and you have this spiritual gift, and like what you said earlier about those who may be suffering from depression, but this one spiritual gift that you have, when you're dealing with someone, they may have a hole in their life that they need plugged, and that spiritual gift that you have can be the deciding factor. And we talking about the spiritual aspect of it. And I also love about how it says in this verse, so as to impart some spiritual gift to you. So these gifts that we have, we're going to get them from someone else, whether it be your brother or your sister. Most importantly, your teacher, your elder, your shepherd. And those things that we are getting from the well of our teacher is very important for us because we take those things out into the world, and hopefully that we can be that beacon of light for someone and to allow them to be able to dwell in shalom. So that's just my take on it. But the very end of that verse I love a lot is about being established and having some type of foundation that you can operate on when you're dealing with the Father. And now you can take those things and deal with others.
All right, all right, all right. We was dealing with Romans chapter 1, and then you guys was talking about verse 11 and how that's making an impact, right, as well. So we will can finish up with that. I added, we just talked about 11, but 12 is good too. And then and this and that is to be, right, an encouragement together among you, right? So we want to encourage one another, each of us, right? Each of us by others' belief, both ours and mine. So I just want to say that encouragement needs to be in there as well, right? In that. So did y'all have anything else that you wanted to echo in verse 11 as well, or what you guys just talked about? Y'all can step up to the plate if you like.
Um, no, I don't have anything else to add, Elder. I'm good.
Okay, all right. All right, my brother.
Excuse me. I like that you added that part about encouragement. I believe that's the key. Everybody needs encouragement. We're all gonna need, and it's not just flattery. It's not just I want to fluff you up, as people say. Um, I think sometimes we have those moments where things just don't seem as bright. The sun's not shining on you. You feel cold, or whatever it is, and you just need somebody that has that warm encouragement to just tell you to keep going. Just for you to realize, even though you may be a little low or a little weary, that it's not the end of it. You're still able to keep going. And I believe at the first part of verse 11, as you have pulled up there, that's what's really in my heart. It's like, I long to see you, in that sense. And I believe that's the point. We're if in the body of Messiah, sometimes we could be, as they say, those ships passing in the night, far few and far between. But every time we encounter a brother or a sister, we could have that opportunity to encourage them, And then, especially for those people who are longing to see the good news of the master, that we also can encourage them by our way of life. And I think it even says it right there in verse 12. That's what always does it for me. Each one by the other's belief. And this is the teacher saying your belief, that that you're encouraged, that I'm encouraged by your belief, and that hopefully you were encouraged also by mine. And that's something I really get filled to the brim with our brothers and our sisters, from my teacher, from my brother here. They always have something that is, it takes that dim flame I was working with and turns it into a roaring hearth. And I'm always excited about those moments where, because not everything can build you up. If it's something that encourages you, I think it says things of the world to those who are of the world, and things of the spirit to those who are of the spirit. So not everything can build you up. So when spiritual people encourage you, we should really cling to them. And I think that that's the point here. And I'm always encouraged by those things.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's a beautiful thing to know that these are the seeds, and when we're using that to be planted, and I'm so grateful for that. And then we in expectation of our harvest, and that's a beautiful thing that those of us that we can continue to walk in covenant, and hopefully this has been an encouragement to everyone. Even though, like I say, we can still recording this, and it may be in two parts, but I'll be able to put this up in that, and so that it'll be an encouragement to that. One of the things that I think we can close with is, why is it important to both the giver and the recipient to receive? They receive the seed, and how can it benefit them when they bring in the harvest? So, and I think those are the things that we've been talking about, right? And that's the things that I was trying to say as well. I think my brother, he froze up to his turn. Those are the things as well, right? So that's one of the things that we can do is to close out in this. Is I want to everyone that will listen to part one of either part two, I want you to be encouraged that those spiritual gift, and it says, I long to see you. It says that because we have to want to do something for someone else, right? And so those are the things of our scriptures when it talks about those spiritual gifts. One of those times maybe we'll get back into this and really, define those things, because sometimes I think it's kind of taken out of context of really what that's about. But we all should have a desire to establish someone, right? Whether it be you want to start with your household and go from there and then spread out, right? In that. And so that's one of the things that we want to continue to do. So those of you that may not have made it with us this time, but we honor the Father. And if you see this again, just know that we want this just like it is. Only our desire is to be an encouragement. The assembly desires is to be encouragement to one another and as well as to others, and those things that we can build on, right? So, brother, I think, like I say, I believe my brother might have froze up. We got those things, and we'll discuss a couple of things right after we close. But we're gonna bring it to a close, my brother. Did you have anything else?
No, no, sir. I
Okay, all
appreciate the
right,
opportunity of being
all
on
right.
here with you.
Well, thank you. I think we had twins today, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was something unique and different. Something unique and
Yes.
different. So we just honor the Father. All right, my brother. Shalom, shalom.